good evening and welcome to this week's Fibrific Alive Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. So, fellow makers and creators, it has been a fun week. I have learned something about myself. So, some of you know I've started a new job, and it's been a long time since I've had a job where it's like specific hours, like usually, well, I should say this, I'm giving myself specific hours. It's still freelance, right? And it's just, different than what I'm used to, which I'm loving, I have to say. And I realized I needed to stop my brain. At one stage, I'd been working for like 8 hours or something, and it was just like, I need to stop thinking about this thing and work on something else. So you know what I did? I actually went in, and because Crochet with Claire, who was in the chat, it's good to see you, Claire, had just dropped a new video. She hasn't dropped one for a while. So I was watching that, and in it, it referred to another project. And so I made that other project. I've made myself a little carry bag for my, ready for it? I'm very proud of myself. Come here, you. All of my different Yetis fit in it. So hello, little coffee cup Yeti. Hello, big cup Yeti. Ready? There we go. Big cup Yeti goes in. And then, not just that, but because I was making it and I only had this Yeti with me, right? It actually fits my Big Bertha water bottle Yeti too. There we go, handles on. Boom, Big Bertha water bottle Yeti as well. So one bag takes all my Yetis. So this is Claire's water bottle carry bag. I realized I screwed up the joint at the top and did it on the inside, not the outside, like a dum-dum. Anyway, I'll fix that later. But scrap cotton yarn. It was just some leftovers from Abby's blanket. And yeah, super chuffed. And do you know what? It totally worked. My brain totally shut out the work stuff mindset thing that was going on. And it was so awesome. I was so happy that I could just stop for a second, because I do have an obsessive brain. Funny, I should mention that. It's news to any of you. I have an obsessive brain where I latch onto something and I just run with it and keep running with it till I can't run anymore. But I don't want to do that with this job because I don't want to burn out. So I'm trying to be really like, okay, just do like 6 hours at a trot, and then get up and move, you crazy woman. It's all this sort of stuff. Now I have bribed Louis. Oh, whoops, what's that doing? Hang on a second. I just want to take that away. No, that's not the one. That one. There we go. And then I would like to add in, there it is. Boom. Oh, come on. Media source. Why is the iPhone not a choice? Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3. On you go. There it is. Hey, Lulu. Louie's having a snooze. Now, I just want to say here, Louie is what we like to call in our household a shatheed. Think about how shatheed would be spelt. But that's the word we use, so we're not actually swearing. Shatheed. Because during Monday's live stream, Louis came in and I wasn't paying attention to him. No. So he came over here, trotted over here, and stole yarn. And he didn't just steal any yarn. No, he stole the bunny mink. Here we go. Guess where I found them? In my bed. I finished the stream. I went looking for them in my bed. He didn't destroy anything. He's kind of raised it up a little bit. Didn't destroy it. Shatheed is the right word. Okay. Here we go. I think we can all relate to the obsessive brain, else we'd never finish anything. Absolutely. Crafting for the win, for sure. Good morning to Mel and Talia and Kelly and Bianca and Knit Spin Girls and Crochet with Claire and SMA Sky. Seriously, dude, you need to get some sleep. Shannon Cooper, Cheryl the Lace Maker from Saskatchewan. Great to see you, Cheryl. Gamer Widow, Jennifer is here as well. I'm trying to get through everybody. I think that's Leanne is here. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, that's right. Leanne was in the live on Monday. Yes, I did see that. He says I will teach my human for ignoring me. Well, today I brought him in. Vampire, it's great to see you as well. I brought him in. I've actually brought in the little container of treats. So I don't think he's going anywhere until that container of treats moves back to the kitchen. But he's having a little sleep. He's got his little snack shirt on, so he can snack because he's in his snacky shirt. But yeah. So anyway, I just need to share that this worked. So I may have started another project as well for my brain to shut down. One thing I want to say is I've been working on the my swatching for the Jethro. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, over in the Discord, the Fiberific Discord, which I probably should have chucked a link in the description. I haven't. If one of the mods have got it, it should be just fiberific.com.au/Discord. Anyway, over there we're going to be running a make along. Okay, so it's work at your own pace, whatever. But I'm not starting until August 20th. I've got some other commitments, and that should be on mute. Why are you not on mute? There we go. That was Abby. Abby's going skiing today. Yeah, so it is not a free pattern. It's over there. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, she's just said the runs that she was going to do today are shut. She obviously forgets it's Thursday and after 10. I might just send her a message. Live now, baby. There we go. I think she loses track of the days. It's quite funny. Anyway, so we're working on the Jethro top, which is a combination knit and crochet project. So it's got some granny squares. It's actually the collar and the sleeves are knitted on. So everyone in the live says hello. Thank you, Kelly. So Kelly's popped in the link to my Jethro, but also at the Discord as well. So thank you for doing that. But I was like, oh crap, it's Thursday. But yeah, so sorry, totally sidetracked. But anyway, so I started doing my swatching because I figured if I need to change something, if I need to switch something, I've got time between now and August 20 to get it done. So I decided to do my swatching. So I got gauge from both my knitting and crochet, but I'm not, look, this is my bag. This is my bag of stuff. There's my knitting swatch. Very happy with that. Over in the Discord, I popped a link because this is like for knit. This is a swatch in the round. So this is a way to get your gauge by knitting in the round without having all the extra long tails across the back. Hello, what are you doing, stretchy boy? Are you having a stretch? You slinky thing. So that's, and do you know what? I'm so happy with that yellow. Anyway, and then I have to be careful because I haven't actually disconnected any of the balls of yarn off the back of my, this is my crochet swatch, which, where's my multi-camera? There we go. That's my crochet swatch, which again, I'm happy about the colors. I'm just feeling it's a little firm. Like this yarn is so squishy and soft, but I'm just feeling that it's just like, this is the deal. The pattern called for a 3.75 mil hook, right? I went through a pile of my hooks. Turns out Clover don't make a 3.75. I didn't have a 3.75 in the Dottie set. A lot of them don't have a 3.75, so that's like the F hook, right? then this morning I was packing up my nests and bringing my projects in here, and I spotted my tulip set, and I'm like, I wonder if tulip's got a 3.75, and it does. So I'm tempted to see how much it changes just by going up 0.25 mil on a hook, because it's just a little, for such deliciously squishy yarn, and it is quite squishy still in the knit. It's still quite squishy and slinky. It's a little too firm in the crochet. And so I'm thinking of, what do you guys think? Jancy says she's pretty sure Clover does a 3.75. Are you sure? I mean, I don't have one. I don't have a 3.7. I'm checking. Clover 3.7. Like, let's just open up a thing. Clover 3.75 millimeter. Oh, they do. They do. I mean, I don't have one. That's weird because I bought the set. I should have one. All right, Clover does do a 3.75 in the Amour. Let me have a look. And they do it in the Poopy Gold. All right. I take it back. They've got it. I just don't have one. But there's not a 3.75 in the set, the Dottie set, or at least now I've got to check that too. Maybe I've just lost it. Crochet me dot. Let me just have a look. Someone's done a review. I'm just going to see if the review includes all the sizes. No, they jumped from a 3.5 to a 4. All right, so I'm not going totally insane. I'm not. Oh, it didn't come in the set. You had to buy it separately. Okay. Yeah. And look, you know what? I mean, I sold their hooks for a long time. And I actually still have some of their hooks for sale. And I would have thought I would have nabbed one for myself. I do try to make sure I get one of everything. Anyway, I've just found one. And because I knew my Boy BOYE set had one, but it's like the metal hook all the way down. And I was like, do I really want to commit to doing an entire 56 granny squares with no squishy grip? The answer to that question is no. I need to, if anyone's got suggestions on not the FEMA clay, I don't like the FEMA clay, but a suggestion for making a handle for crochet hooks. If you've got an idea, I would love to hear about it. So drop it in the Facebook group or into the Fibrific Fun Zone over on Discord, because I would love to hear about it, because I've got an entire set of boy hooks that I don't use anymore because I only use hooks with squishy handles. Oh, far out. Hang on a second. I don't know. I checked my Prim hooks as well. They didn't have a 3.75 either. A pipe insulating foam tube, possibly, because it doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be something. I end up with like pain through here when I use the metal hooks, and it's just because I squish things so tight while I'm working with them, and it's dumb. And I should just loosen my hand grip, but I just don't. Anyway, I was thinking about doing that during the live. Do you want me to do that during the live? I mean, I'd have to cut the yarn. I'd have to cut the yarn. Oh no, I could work from the other ends of the balls, right? I could work from the other ends of the balls, because it was just, I just did it this way where I haven't cut the ends because it's the swatch, right? Natalie Power says, I've seen someone using a makeup blending sponge. That's pretty cool, except they're pretty chunky. But there's all different types of makeup blending sponges. And I wonder if those, you know, the things that kids put on their pencils, they might not fit because they're too, like, they might fit on some of the bigger hooks, but not on the little. I've got ideas. There's ideas. Anyway, let's grab these yarns out so I can ditch this bag. Boop, 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 boom. I'll go from the other ends of the balls. Because, like, do you know how hard it was for me to decide to even cut this? I was like, oh, I don't want anybody to cut this off. I don't want to cut this. But I did because, you know, I have to. But when I'm swatching, I don't like to, especially something like this where it's going to be like a million short rows. I don't want to cut it if I don't have to. Like if I'm going to keep the square, then yes, I'll go off and trim them off and leave tails long enough to weave in. I'll do that. I'll do it. Take your hooks on a trip to the hammer barn. Not a bad idea. But yeah, I'll do it. I would. Now let me I just need to open up the pattern here. What is this called? Jethro. Jethro. Come on, Jethro. Let's have a look here. So, because what I'm thinking, right? What I'm thinking is, Knit Spin Girls, me too. Me too. I'm allergic to cutting yarn for a swatch. Absolutely. Kelly says, I've used the foam curlers before, which worked quite well. What are foam curlers? Like, what are we talking about? I'm not sure what we're talking about. Leanne says the pencil grips don't work. I've tried a couple of sets. They slide. Those sliding one over an already big handle might work nicely. Yeah, my concern was I already had like quite a big like hole for the pencils. So yeah, I could see that. But yes, so I'm just trying to work out like for the size of the sweater that I'm going to be making. It's me, Sam says I'm allergic to swatching. I only swatch for stuff I want to actually fit me. I don't swatch for blankets. I don't swatch for shawls and things like that. But I definitely swatch for something that I want to fit me. Abby, hello, honey. It's good to see you in the chat. If you're not happy with the square, just frog it and try again. Well, see, this is the thing. I'm kind of happy with it. And I was going to run with it until I found that I did actually have it because I used a 3.5 mil hook on this. So, and it technically gets gauge. That's the other thing. It does get gauge. Like nicely. But it's just too firm. It's too firm. Abby feels like she's living in a fridge. So I want to see, and what I'm thinking, right, is basically I need 5-inch squares. So what I'm thinking is maybe, because the sizes are changed by the number of rounds per granny square. So what I'm thinking is maybe, just maybe, instead of having the 6 rounds, including the outside grey round, which is the turning round, I could have 5 rounds, including the grey turning round, and get my 5 inches. Yeah, see, Jancy, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Since you just have to get a square size to match, try a hook to get the texture, then change how many rows you do. Yeah. It's Sam, it's me. This yarn is ridiculously soft and delicious, and knitting it was delicious. But I've had to crochet it up quite firmly, which washing won't change that. So what I'm thinking, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Oh, one thing I'll say about these bullseyes, those of you that are buying Midlands, it is like, it's been a big whinger. Oh, there we go. That's the smallest middle I've pulled out. Like, which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, look, this one here. When I pulled out the middle, all of this came out. I had to rewind it to shove it back in. Get back in there. We don't want you right now. So yeah, it's been kind of hilarious. The whole, like yesterday I was just covered in yarn because they're all attached and they're all, you know, doing their thing. And I did learn something, which is don't put these two colors. No, not those two. Don't put these two colors next to each other. They're quite similar. I mean, they are different. But there's a lot of tonally similar colors here. Those 3 colors. Boom, boom, boom. They need something in the middle to break them up a bit. So I'm learning some stuff while I'm going. We learn stuff. Yeah. I saw a video where they used the self-adhesive bandages. That's a great idea. I love those self-adhesive bandages. Abby, do we have any of that floating around? I know we did at some stage. Alrighty. Now, we're not going to use, the grey is going to be on the outside because I do want to make it a square that if it does work, I want to keep it. So I have to do it like at least partially like how it's going to happen. So let me see. So that's on that. So let's pull that wrapper that way. Where is the end of the ball? There we go. Alrighty, now they do their granny squares just slightly different than me, so I do want to make sure that I follow the instructions. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to use the 3.75mm tulip. I'm going to see if it gets much of a difference than a 3.5mm Clover Moor. Now I do work over the tails during this. Oh look, I can tell you already the texture of the stitches feels different. Wow, okay, kind of glad I've done this. One thing I'll say is my clover, these tulip hooks are really old and I do try to keep them clean, but there's the tacky spot right where my thumb goes. I'm going to need to go and grab some isopropyl to give it a clean because my thumb's sticking to it. And am I the only one who doesn't like it when your hands stick to plastic things? I don't like it. I just don't like it. Let's have a look here. So in the description, I have popped in links to a couple of the projects that I've pulled out to work on. But this is something that needs doing because otherwise I'm going to go insane. If I actually, what's going to happen is I'll go to all the effort using expensive yarns and not wear the top. Because this stuff isn't the cheapest yarn to use, especially not garment quantities. So, you know, but have I done enough? I have done enough. I'm going to go and grab a little wipe for this. So just, you know, bear with. Screen. Hello, we're back. All right, I've got some isopropyl here. Who suggested baking soda? Does that work? I mean, I'll happily try different things because the isopropyl doesn't always work. That's definitely getting less tacky. But I grabbed some of these as well, just in case. Louie's like, what's that cool noise? Is that chips? Is it cheese? No, Louie, it's not. It's neither. I'll give the hook a little clean too while I'm here. I mean, the hook's clean, really. It worked for you, baking soda. Let me just think, do I have baking soda handy? I don't think I've got any really all that handy. I'll see if I can find some baking soda. All right, I have a big giant thing of bicarb. Boom. Let's give it a try. Let's move some yarn out of the way. I grabbed some drop sheets. Alrighty. Hey, Greenland Quilter. Good to see you. Alrighty. Because the isopropyl worked. I had to clean a piece of audio gear, and it had some of the tacky plastic stuff going on. Alrighty. Like, how much are we talking here? Like, you are kidding me. All this time, and I could have just rubbed some baking soda on it. Is it just anything like that's a bit powdery? Because that's my concern. Is just, you know, like, if I clean off the baking soda, is it just covering the sticky thing, or is it actually removing the sticky thing? Oh, I see. Put it on and then actually rub it quite hard. Don't. So, all right. There we go. Because that would remove the sticky. It wouldn't just. Right. That makes more sense. Right, let's have a feel. Ah. I just realised that my little hook's moving. That might bug me over time. I'll see. I might just squirt some glue in there. Not today. All right, well, let's solve that. Let's just pack up this. I'll just throw the hook on the ground. That's cool. One thing I'll do, though, is it's really gritty now. So let's see if a wipe down helps it be less gritty and still. Yep, okay, cool. The wipe down helped it be less gritty and the sticky didn't come back. That was my concern, was that the sticky would come back. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are the bomb. I always learn something from you in these live streams. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, you go over there as well. We'll deal with all that stuff later. Boof. Oh, we don't need a spoon anymore. Alrighty. Have some, in my Yetis, tea, coffee, standard still tap water just from the tap. Because it's cold enough here. I don't need fridge water. Well, definitely all learnt something. Where's Louis? He's slunk to this end. There we go. Alrighty. Now, what was I doing? That's my little bit. There it is. Okay. And then into the space. My hands are all not happy. Draw that up. One thing I'll do is untangle this. That's the catch with working on the outside of the ball when the inside is attached to something. All right, next color. Let's go with the yellow. Oh no, I did the yellow in a second round last time. Let's do something different. Let's do the blue. Where's your outer piece? Blue. There it is. Okay. All right, so how I was connecting these, I was just going through that loop and then just drawing it through. Doing the chains. Do you know what? The hook's squeaking now. Let me just give it a little polish. Like the yarn's not sliding down the hook now, which is a pet peeve, I will say. that slip. Alrighty. Now let's grab our next yarn for our next corner. Go through the spots. Bring it through. And then I just, if it works correctly, we should just be able to pull that. There we go. Like magic. Alrighty. I'm on a roll now. I'm on the roll. I'm on the granny square roll. It just started a bit different than I'm used to. And I can already tell you the difference in the squishiness. It was worth this effort. Is that sad? It was worth the effort. Kelly's put a post in the fun zone if you want to share projects, hooks, hacks, etc. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, you do wonder if it's any sort of powder. If it was just for like covering the sticky, I could imagine any kind of powder would work. But considering how many things I've tried to get rid of the sticky before, and I've done a bit of research on it, it is literally just hand oils and silicone / rubberized stuff over time equals sticky. There's nothing you can do to stop it from happening. There's nothing particularly that makes it happen in the first place. And it'll just depend on how much you use something, how it's stored when you put it away, and all that sort of stuff. So, and I personally have particularly greasy skin and hands. So, yeah, I do come across this issue a lot with all my sort of covered hooks. And because I prefer a hook with a cover on it, a handle, whatever you want to call it, then, you know, it's going to be a constant battle for me. So finding a solution, I usually just rub a lot with isopropyl alcohol and that'll do the job as well. But by rubbing a lot, I mean a lot. Like what we just did then was way less effort. Choose the next color. Next color should be this one because it's delicious. This is my favorite. This is the Huon Pine in the Midlands. Knitspin Girl says, I don't know about hand oils. I have some hooks in a set that I've never used that are uber sticky. Wow. Maybe all this time I've been blaming myself and it's not even me. Maybe all these years of me just going, yeah, it's your greasy skin, Chantelle. Just deal with it. And it's not even me. Wouldn't that be amusing for me? You know, let's just, like, I blame myself. It's like something goes wrong. That must have been my fault. I must have done something wrong there. This time around, I just thought, oh, well, it's just my skin. I just have annoyingly greasy skin. Be kind of amusing if it had nothing to do with hand oils. Chintamani says that some soft plastics just get sticky with age. There you go. I did think it was odd that I'd cleaned something down that I thought I'd done quite well and then pulled it out of storage and it was sticky. But I just figured I mustn't have cleaned it down properly. So what my hope is that I can get away with doing a round less with a softer drapier square. Oops, I have to do there's Macy here. Thanks, Macy. And you know, that would just be awesome. 1 round less per square. Still get the right measurements. I mean, I'm dreaming, right? How often does something like this actually work out how we want it to work out? Like never. It'll be like, nope, you must have cardboard. Ha ha ha. Tell you what, I'll be tempted to buy a Clover 3.75 just to complete my set. No, I forgot to chain there. I'm like looking at the color and I'm like, do I actually have one and it's sitting in a project that I'm just not aware of? Because I was surprised to find I didn't have a hook size required. It's pink. It's a pink one. I'll have to check. I could also just be blind and in my haste didn't find it. Oh, we've had a mouse infestation. Everything's been scrubbed from top to bottom. Oh my gosh. Ew. Ew is all I can say to that. Man, I love this Huon pine in this Midlands. I want like 14 tops made out of it. I don't think I'd ever get sick of wearing it. And look, this one matches my shirt. Like pretty close. These colors are just me, right? Chantelle says I get all my poopy gold from the wool warehouse, £3 even converted is cheaper than the $10 plus you pay here. Yep. Yeah, it's always worth shopping around. You could try doing a smaller stitch on a round or two if you want all the colors in each, like swapping the DC to HDCs. That's actually a great point as well. What I think I'm going to do is because I ordered an extra color as it was because I just couldn't choose. I was already just going to have like a switch around, so not all the colors would be in all the squares. Yeah, it's probably in one of my blanket bags. You're right there, Cheryl. You're right. It's all right. I can order another one. I like to, you know, I realized I own like one set of 3.75 mil knitting tips or two. There's got to be a second set somewhere, but I currently can only find one. But I have like 6 sets of 3.5 mils and 4 mils. So yeah. Frustration station. A little bit of blue fluff. What are you doing there? Can I remove you without doing any damage? Yes, I can. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, they're probably in projects. I mean, I do have a crate of projects I have to go through. And decide if I will be reclaiming them or whether they will be continued on. Good chance I'll be reclaiming. Okay, let's go with pink. And that was the other thing. I was going to do like each square. Each square was going to have either the pink or the yellow as the contrasty colors. This end. Oh, that's actually an excellent point. You could check your well, see, this is the thing. Some of my other projects, the ones in the crate mostly, are not actually on Ravelry. They are the secret shame projects. Oh, come on. You need that out of the way. Oh, stretchy boy. Yes, the shame projects. Actually, they're not shame projects. They're just projects like when I cleaned out my craft room a while back. They were just ones that was just tucked away that I just needed to decide if they would just like learn a technique. I'm done with them. Or don't you dob on me to Kelly. But yeah, they're just ones that I've just got to decide if I'm done with them. Because I do start projects to learn a technique. And sometimes that's the goal. I actually don't want the finished thing. I just wanted to learn how to do the thing. So work out if it's that or if it was something I'd planned on completing and just hadn't yet. So, just double checking my stitching there. It just felt odd. Sometimes when you do something, it just felt a bit weird doing it. And you're like, did I even do that right? The answer is, I think so. I can't see anything glaring that says wrong. I mean, there's a tail there that I can see, but that's okay. Tails happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do the grey after this. This square feels so much nicer, honestly. Kelly says, yeah, that's why I have everything, projects and tools in my rack because I'm OCD. Craig said, why do you need so many projects on the go at one time? Silly man, doesn't understand. Woman brain doesn't work like a man brain. Our daily life is juggling 15,000 life webs. That's 100% correct. Also, sometimes I just forget I've started something, like, oh yeah, I really want to make a shawl today. And then you finished working on the shawl you wanted to make today, even though it's not finished. And then the next day you're like, I really want to make socks today. And then you start a pair of socks that, take 15 years to finish. It just happens that way sometimes, It's not intentional. Oh, I'm really not used to doing a chain in between the granny stitches. But I do try to do what the pattern says because there could be a reason for it later and I don't know what it is. Because I've never connected knitting to crochet before. That's the skill I want to learn in this project. Also, sometimes you're just bored. Like, this project is dull. I would like to do something else and pretty squishy yarn arrived. So I want to use the new squish. That legit happens. Legit. Kelly says it's nice that there's others out there like me. Kelly, I want to be more like you. But there is a crate. They're all together. But there is a crate of projects that I need to make decisions upon. And if I decide to continue them on, they will make it to Ravelry. If I decide to frog them, then no one has to know. And I just miraculously have some really pretty yarn that I've had this for ages. Or it could be something I started so long ago before I got fussy with yarn, and there is no way known to man that even though I like whatever the pattern is, I've done it again, haven't I? A whole side without doing it. What a donkey. Chain, you donkey. That, there's a whole project that even though I like what the project's going to be completed as, that there's no way known to man that I'm going to touch or use whatever it is because I don't like whatever the yarn is. That's just truth. That's just truth. Now, the other thing with this particular project is there's a huge size jump between the like each of the sizes provided, because it's like it's supposed to be like baggy and comfy. So even if this comes out a dash small, as long as I can make the sleeves work, like a dash small as in a dash smaller than the measurements, not a dash small on my body. Oh, this could be it. This could totally be it. If I lose my Crojo, I just start new projects till I find it again. That could be legitimately what I've done with some of these projects. Leanne says, I won't finish it for you, so I try really hard not to start too many new projects. I do try and do that as well, because I agree with you. It's a legitimate fear, and it is something that I've been known to do historically. Those of you that have been around sometime in the last 8 years of me doing these live streams will know that that it's legitimate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just double checking, because in my brain it's just not looking square. So I just needed to double check I hadn't missed anything. I just want to come down here, you. You know what? This is going to work. Oh, I think it could work. I think it can work. Or close enough. Grey, where are you, Grey? We need you. You are the outer edge of all of the squares because you're such a pretty grey. Do we have the end of the ball? There it is. There it is. All right, let's just, I didn't want to take another paper off. I'll just take it. I don't care. I'll be able to work out which are which, right? Have they got colour names on them? No, they don't. Good job, me. Dear yarn companies, please put your actual colour names on your tags, not just the colour number. You're already printing something original on there. Oh, let's have a look in. Oh, yeah. I sent a video to a couple of friends this morning called the Cheddar Goblin. If you don't know what the Cheddar Goblin is, I'd never seen it before. It came up in my feed. It's like this old school American ad. You need to Google it. It's terrible. It's so bad. It was an advertising campaign on television. Oh man. Yeah, Sally, there is a reason why I'm not cutting the yarn yet. These are just swatches. And this yarn's really expensive. Like in the scheme of how much I'm willing to spend on yarn, this yarn's quite expensive for me. And so if I'm not happy with the swatches, I want to be able to just easily unravel it and wind them back into the ball. Now, I did do this one because it's a lot of yarn and I'll be able to use it in sections of the crochet and I won't lose too much. But yeah, that's once I'm happy with which way I'm going to go, then I'll cut one of them and then go from there. But yeah, it's just expensive yarn for me, and I'm just really protective of it, you know. I mean, like, look, you know what? This isn't that expensive a yarn. I mean, I don't know what I'm worried about. It comes out to be about $12 a ball, right? $12 or $13 a 50 gram ball. That is expensive for me. It may not be expensive for you. And I don't need like huge amounts of each color except for the gray. I just need a couple of each of the colors, and I've probably got more colors than I need because I couldn't decide. That's all my own fault. It's all my own problem. I get it. But yeah, I just wanted to do this way just so I could, you know, save something and not have all little bits floating around. And because you can pull that, you can make it pretty neat to be able to get an idea. Sally says $12 for 50 grams. Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah, I don't even know if that's just, like, that's how much I'm paying. Like, let me just look at how much it goes for in shops. What am I, what, hang on, Cleckheaton it is. Cleckheaton Midlands. Let's see who's stocking it. Lumen Spindle have got it for $9.80 a ball. Okay, so they're going for actually anywhere up to $12. I'm seeing $11.80, $9.80, $9.80. So about $10 a ball on average. Yeah, but it's still expensive. But it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's beautiful to use, and the colors are just perfect for me. They're just colors I just love. Yeah, it just comes down to what is it that you want. So we're talking Australian dollars here as well. So it's that could be a difference. I'm not sure where you're from. It's me, Sam. $12 50 gram is the most I've spent too. 45% cashmere, 55% merino. Yeah, see, I haven't spent, like, I was able to get these at wholesale rate. So I was trying to rough math out the the retail rate, and I got the math wrong. $10 a ball, still definitely worth it. $12 a ball, I actually think this is worth it. But it is just pure merino. So this is single origin merino from Tasmania. It is beautiful. It's absolutely divine to work with. And I'm happy to spend the money. But I don't want to waste the money. Does that make any sense at all? Like, I'm happy to spend it, but I don't want to waste. Oh, you're in Melbourne. Okay, so you're talking Aussie dollars too. So that's cool. That makes it easier. But yeah, I'm happy to spend the money. I want the top. I want what I'm making. I just don't want to waste any little bits if I can avoid it. That's all. That's where I was going with this. It is a bit of a luxury project, and it's kind of hilarious because it's a granny square sweater. Like, let's make it with delicious yarn. Like, really? Have fun calling the kids bingo, Claire. It was great that you could jump in. Alrighty, we are coming on to we are on the last round here. I hate when you have to swatch in the round and cut it. Oh, no, Mel, I've got to, I put it into the, if you're in the Discord, I put it in the Discord. This is swatched in the round. Oh, come on. This is actually swatched in the round. Laura Nelkin shows a technique on how to do it. She's got a YouTube video on it. I linked it. This is technically swatched in the round. So you don't have to cut through anything at all. And you just have little tails off to one side. But when you pull it out, it's all one piece. So this is technically swatched in the round. There's a particular technique that you use when you're doing it. And is this the first time I did it? And I love it. It's way better than the other way. Because I'm with you, Mel. I'm like, oh my God, I hate swatching in the round. I did used to try and do it the way that Franklin Habit teaches it, which is where you have a really long loops at the back so that, again, you don't have to cut it. But it's just these massive long loops that get in the way of everything. But yeah, so Laura Nelkin has a method for this is swatched in the round. So I knit every row. There was no purling. There was no purling that happened here. So check that out. Like, I'm with you. You've written here, oh my God, that will change my life. Changed mine. I only learned how to do it this week and I shared it straight away. Knitspin Girl says the yarn randomizer swatches in the round like that too. Yeah, Laura says she learnt it from someone and it changed her life. So I'm letting it change everyone's life. Like, let's just keep passing it on because it's fantastic. I'm not going to lie. It's a little fiddly. And make your swatch just a dash bigger because this end of it is just a bit baggy. There's got to be a knack to making it not quite so baggy. But I make sure that when I'm measuring my swatch, I'm measuring it from like in here somewhere so that I don't have to incorporate any of the stitches that are even close to this little loosey-goosey situation happening on the end here. But the rest of the swatch is totally measurable. So I just sort of, a couple of rows, like maybe 1 or 2 rows. I definitely don't want to include it in my swatch measurement. And this one, and the very first row on this side, it gets quite tight for me. So again, I want to make sure that I'm in a little. So I've been making my swatches, like, if you need a 4-inch swatch, you should be making at least 5 inches anyway. So, but yeah, definitely check it out. Total game changer. And not that fiddly to do, honestly. It seems fiddly when you're first learning it, but you get into a rhythm. But you definitely need to do the swatches either on circulars or on DPNs because of what you need to be able to slide it backwards and forwards. So you definitely need the circulars or DPNs. We are coming around the corner as we swatch. I made up a new song to sing around the house that annoys my husband. He's noticed that I've been wearing socks around the house a lot more and he thinks it's gross. I don't know why he thinks it's gross. He just does. It's not like I walk in the grass in the socks, without my slippers, but I walk around the house just in socks. So now I have a new song for that, which is all day, all day, I wear these socks, socks, socks. And then I point to my feet and he just shakes his head and is offended at the fact that I've worn the same socks all day around the house. I don't see the problem because he wears the same socks all day to work. It's not like he changes socks at lunchtime or something. I don't understand what the issue is. I don't. I think it's in his head. But I had to make him a song just to upset him. Those of you that know me know I have little songs. Just, I realize I'm humming the same tune every time I boil the kettle. I've got a buttering the bread song. I've got lots of different songs for lots of different things. Some of them sound like something or are just variations on another song. And some of them are totally just original. Because I don't know what inspires the song for the task, but tasks have songs. Don't they, Lou? Alrighty, we are here at the end of the square. There you go, little tangly bits. 0 stars. I don't recommend working from the outside and the inside of a ball at the same time. Alrighty. The other thing I'll say is because with this particular pattern, we're working the front side all the time. We don't flip. You can normally get away with about 4 rows of a square before that starts to skew things. The camera needs to focus. Yeah, we normally get about 4 rounds before it starts to do the skew. On 6, I really noticed it. So it is a little smaller. If I can line up the corners. It's a little smaller, but I don't think it's anything, it's actually barely noticeable. I don't think it's anything blocking couldn't fix. I do own a ruler, do I not? Battery packs. My usual thing. So what's 5 inches? About 12.5 centimeters. This ruler does not have any. So we're about 0.5 centimeter short on that side and about 0.5 centimeter short on that side. But I think just a little bit of bloop, blocking, not even any stretching, like not even any major blocking, that could just tidy that up. This one here, yeah, it gets the 12.5. So yeah, I lose 0.5 centimeter. But I do. Oh, what do you guys think? Do you think me relying on the fact that I need to block this a little bit, like, and not even heavy blocking, but just a little bit of blocking to get what's like 5 mil in inches, so I can convert it for my friends. 0.5 cm to inches is, we're talking 0.2 of an inch. So I don't know how you would say that. Come on. Like, there's a word for it, right? Like, you guys have 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 16ths, 8ths. I don't know what it is. I don't know what 5 mils is. So 2.54 is an inch. So divide it into 5. So it's 1/5 of an inch. Well, see, this is the thing. While we're doing the swatching, we add this extra round on, but it's actually a join as you go project. So when I, geez, my starter's been bad this last week. I think it's my brain's doing too many things. But when I decide which one, I'll actually pull back the grey round, because the grey round is the join as you go round. But when you're doing the measurements, they say to include that round for the swatch. So it's 1/5 of an inch. Thank you, Game Widows. So we're short about 1/5 of an inch across a square. So it's supposed to be 5 inches. So, but it's 4 4/5 inches. There we go. How's that? Is that easier? Like 1/2 centimeter is much easier. Greenland Quilter, I'm with you on this one. I really do think that once I work on it, it's going to work itself out. Also, I'm making the size that's quite large. Like it's good. There's a lot of positive ease. Like a lot of positive ease. Like I think, let me just check how much positive ease I'm going with on this particular one. I'm going with about 45 centimeters of positive ease, which is about 16 inches of positive ease. So I think if I lose a little in the positive ease, it's not going to be that bad a thing, right? As long as I can make the sleeves work. What's this? Your first square needs the grey round on. I mean, that's true. That's true. But I haven't decided if this will be the first square. Yeah, there's a lot of positive. See, the thing is, right, I could have gone down another size. So basically, there is in centimeters, because I know, like, my bust measurement in centimeters is 117 centimeters. I think I've got the inches somewhere. Inches. Where's my sizes? I actually keep a little list of all my measurements. So let me just, where is my sizes? I think I call it measurements. Here we go. So it's 46 inches for the bust. And my options are 42, 49, 59, 69, or 78 3/4. But they really said that the size is actually of the finished garment, not the measurements of your bust, right? So you want to make sure that there's a bit of room for a start. So I don't want the next one. Sally, yes. So this particular pattern, depending on the size you're doing, changes how many rounds are in the square. So some of them only have 3 rounds. Like some of the sizes have 2 to 3 rounds. Let me just look. Where is it? Where's the chart? There's a very good chart. Yeah, 3 rounds. So some have got 3, some have got 4, and it goes all the way up to 6 rounds plus your outside round. So I'm already doing the second largest size because I do want it to be comfortable and oversized. I want to be able to wear a long sleeve t-shirt under it. I don't want it to be like snug. So yeah, I think I have to make 52 squares I have to make. So it is losing 5 mil off 52 squares. So that brings it down to less crazy big. Does that make any sense? Because I need for the top of the arms to work on my stupid arms, right? Because small body, massive arms, okay? This is the deal. No matter what I make, I have to, I know some of you already know this, that you've been here a while, but I always have to make my actual torso size is about 3 or 4 dress sizes smaller than what I need if I need sleeves. So if I'm wearing something sleeveless, I can drop down quite a few sizes. But the second I add sleeves, I need to go up some sizes. So this is why I'm on this journey of making some of my own clothes, because I'm tired of everything just gaping and just being too long or too big. You know what I mean? Just to make it fit my arms, I need to have all this extra room and everything else. I've got to pull the back. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. It's frustrating. And so being able to make some of my own garments, I'm trying to ease this now. Some of the t-shirts that we've made the DK Rocket tee, which fits like a dream. The ranunculus that I made out of the pure cotton, I sized it in a way that it was more of a t-shirt size rather than oversized. Love it. It's so comfortable. It's amazing. And just having sleeves that fit and that aren't tight or look wrong, like compared to the rest of the thing. Like, this is why I'm doing this. But yeah, so the pattern actually has, depending on the size of the garment you're making, changes the number of size and the number of squares. Like if you're making like the tiniest size, you've got 2 colors and the gray, and then, a much reduced number of squares. Whereas for mine, I've got 5 colors. So this one here was 5 colors plus the gray. But it's cardboardy. Yeah, see, Jen says as you pick up the stitches for the arms, you can just pick up with the bigger size to the body. It shouldn't matter. And that's what I've been doing. I've actually been like with the knitted tops, I've actually just been I've worked out what a good number of stitches is for my arm. And so if it's got like, say it's, I can't think off the top of my head, but say it's 60 stitches, but I need 75. Under the arm, instead of adding like the 2 or 3 stitches, I'm adding 12. Do you know what I mean? And it's creating a really comfortable armhole for me. So it's because this part of the armhole is fine. It's when it comes to where the arm's got to sit is the problem. So I don't need to make the actual armhole cavity bigger, or at least not so far. I just need to make the actual arm sleeve bigger because this part of my arm is fine. It's where the actual arm flab comes in that's the issue. Sorry, probably way more information than anyone wanted to ever know about the anatomy of my body. But this is why we make our own things. Like we're all in here. We are all crafters and creators and makers of varying degrees of what it is that we make, what mediums that we're using. It doesn't matter. We're all making things. The advantage of making things is you can make it how you need it to be. I want to make a top that fits my body. So I'm going to adjust things. And as my skills improve, as I get better as a crafter and a creator, my skills improve. It becomes much more second nature. I'm less scared to try, because it used to be a stage back right when I started, you didn't want to have to pull something out because it took you so long to make it. Now I can knit up a swatch in, like an hour. I can, everything's faster. So it's not such a big time investment if something happens and I just have to pull it out and do it again. And using some of these beautiful yarns, I'm willing to risk pulling things out for them to sit right, to feel more comfortable. This has so much more drape and it's so much softer than this. This is just that little bit. Look at the difference in the stitch sizes here. Come on, yarns, up you come. Look at the difference in the stitch sizes. So this is the 3.5 mil hook. That's a 3.75 mil hook. It's not quite 2 to 1, but it's getting pretty dang close. That's a lot of difference in the stitch size and it's just so much softer because the yarn's not being compressed and tightened. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning. I should have made them in the same colors, so my brain's not like, oh, they're so different, because they're just not that much different, really. I do have a. Where is it? Where's your pins? I know where the board is, but what did I do with the pins? Because I've got a proper blocking board. I can pin these out to 5 inches and get them blocking to 5 inches perfectly. There's no issues there. And it's wool, so it will hold its block. It'll be good. Let's have a look here. My nan once knitted me a cardie, which the arms were too tight, so she knitted a triangle wedge and just sewed it under the sleeve hems, making them wider, and then put on a cuff. It worked amazing. Yeah, this is just the thing. Like once you understand how something is created, how it is built, how what needs to be there, what can be changed. Like quite often I find that there's a lot of plus size clothing where they'll just add like this strip of fabric that runs under your arm and down the sides. I don't need the down the sides. I don't need the extra down there. I need the extra in my arms. So understanding how to create our fabric, to create our garments, and understanding how the garments are put together Like this for me is different. It's new. It's a different style than I've done before. I've never done knitting onto crochet. But I'm definitely leaning towards this one. I'm going to change their order here just so that they're on different, because I think the backgrounds are affecting it as well. So, yes. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Barb has joined us. I've just finished the good clothes washing in the twin tub as the creek water that is on tap is now going very rusty. Oh no. That's painful. That's painful. But I'm glad you've got options. I'm glad you've got options. So yeah, there's a lot of tails just hanging out. Come on, camera, what are you doing, dude? There's a lot of tails just hanging out here while I decide. I'm definitely leaning towards this one. It just feels so much nicer. And I do have so much space. I use the rainwater in the, so yeah, the drinking water in the twin tub. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Cheryl. I think the one with the pink will give you what you want. I think you're right. It's got the softness and the drape. And the stitches are still defined. They're not baggy stitches by any stretch of the imagination. And do I prefer the color? Like, this is the thing. Are we using all of the colors? I will be like, I've got how many? I've got 52 squares to make. I'll be switching around which colors, but all of the colors do work well together. I probably just won't put the pink and the yellow in the same square together. I might. Who knows what I'll do? Because this is the thing with this particular top. Let me just see. If you've not seen the Jethro, I'm just going to screen share it here. So just bear with me while I go to the Jethro pattern. And just do that. Let's go to our screen share screen. Is this one? That's the one we want. There we go. So see how like every square is just, I'm trying to scroll on the wrong screen. Every square is different, but it's the same color palette. So that's what I'm going to be doing as well. So every square is different, and she's even like this orange that's here. Let me just extensions. Let's go to tube spanner, and we want a magnifier. So see the orange here, right in the middle of that square. I actually can't see it on any other square. Oh, there it is. It's in that square up there, just on her shoulder. But so it doesn't matter. Natalie, me too. You know, me too. Like Natalie's saying, every time you say Jethro, I think Gibbs. Me too. That was like Jethro Gibbs and Jethro Tull are the only real life Jethros that I've ever heard of. So, I know I live in a cave. But yeah, so I can quite easily alternate between all of these colors, except for the gray. The gray will be the constant. And quite easily alternate between them all. So that's part of the charm of this top. It is supposed to be a stash buster. You're not supposed to go out and buy like a million beautiful yarns like what I did. Hey Lou, did you move again, or when I changed screens, did it change how the camera picked it up? Anyway, but yeah, so that's, and see how the like sleeves are knitted on. My concern is that these sleeves at the top of the arm won't be big enough. But in saying that, I can always knit a little panel or a little wedge to get it to where it needs to be. I can cast that on between the crochet stitches and get that going. Or I could even just do a little crochet triangle. I've got options if I need to, but I won't know until I've got it on, I think, for that particular thing with the sleeves. You know, I'm not like, I'm pretty well certain that 2 5-inch squares is not going to cut it, right? Like, let me just, like, yeah, they're definitely not going to cut it, like 2 5-inch squares. So if that's what you're supposed to do, which I don't know yet because I haven't looked. So let's go back over here. Oh yeah, it did change Louis' look. Ah, there we go. That's good to know. I'll have to fix that up. Because there's actually like, in Louis' shot, there's actually a lot of space there I can give him. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some jiggery pokery to make it work no matter what. No matter which way I decide to go, there will be jiggery pokery. This is definitely softer than that. I mean, this is fine, but if I've got the option, I want the option. Where's the middle? There we go. Oh, that's the other thing. I didn't pull the middle. Let me just see if that makes a difference. You said it looks like there's 4 or 5 squares for the under. I really hope so. I really hope that it's not 2, because you couldn't see it, but I had the 2 over and it sort of goes to here. Like, hang on, there we go. It only went about there, so I'm really hoping that there was something else. Otherwise, yeah, I was just going to jerry rig myself some extra bits for under my arms. Like, that's what we do, isn't it? We just jerry rig stuff until we're happy, because we're making it for ourselves. So, I could probably read ahead on the pattern and work out the sleeves. Hey, let me just have a little look. Joining the granny square, sewing the panels together. That's the hem. I'm not going to be doing buttonholes. I'm definitely not buttoning it. I've got this thing here, a note about the sleeves. It's definitely a drop shoulder construction. It's not always my favorite, like the drop shoulder, but this is going to be some fun. And then I'm definitely adding in the extra stripes of the colors on the sleeves as well, because I just think that looked amazing. All right, yeah, I'm going with this one. I'm going with the smaller one. That's what I'm doing. I'm going with the smaller one, everybody. Watch, I'm going to cut. That's how certain I am. I'm going with the smaller one. We need decent length tails for weaving in of ends. Not the grey though. I won't cut the grey. Although someone did say the grey needs, I'll just cut the grey this one time. If I have to sacrifice that amount of grey once, then I will. All right. We made the decision. Let's reclaim this yarn. Let's reclaim this one. So I can't change my mind. It's done. It is done. Decision made. Am I like the only one who's like sweating over this? I think I am. That one there was for the outside. So what do you guys think? Now that I've done all the cutting, you all agree with me or not? Like, no, actually, Chantelle, don't cut it. Oh, no. What have you done? You've wasted 5 grams of delicious yarn. Into the belly. Blop, blop, blop. Leave its little tail poking out so I can find that later. I have to work out which band is yours. Well, it's too late now. Yes, it is. That's correct. It just means that it'll be your first square. I mean, I've left a long tail on it, so even if I pulled it off, I could use the grey for something. It's not totally cactus, but yeah, I'll probably will use that as the first one. It won't kill me. There'll probably be like some color that I'll be like, oh my god, I wanted that to be the first one. You'll be able to do it. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. Get out of the way, little blue color. All right. I actually feel really good about this. I need to go in and change. Actually, where's my Ravelry project? Ravelry project. my projects because I put my hooks in there, so I want to change it. I want to edit it now before I forget. I will change the photos later, but I'll change my hook now before I forget, and then go back and do a 3.5 and not understand why it's not working. Save. Yeah, Dolores, I 100% agree with you. If I didn't like the softness of the square, I would never have worn the cardigan. You're so right. You're so right. And that was my concern, is I've got this, you know, as I said earlier, expensive to me yarn. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm making it how I want it. Jan says, I wasn't going to swatch, but now I might. Yeah, I would, Jance. I would. Just so you know, right? Like, the sizing is weird, okay? Like, I'm not going to lie to you. The sizing is hinky as. So you want to make sure that you're making a size that works for you and that you're getting the size squares that you need. Because usually I would have used a 4mm and not even thought twice about it. So, and then I was reading through the pattern and then they were right with the recommendation for the knitting needle. I didn't need to change that. That was really good. Like for me, because obviously we're all different. We all have different knitting tension and all designers have different tensions. Hey, Tundra Scales, it's great to see you. Welcome to the chat. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. I would say it's always worth doing a swatch if you want the garment to fit. So, you know, I'm not the craft police. It's up to you entirely. You're an adult. You get to choose. But if you want the garment to fit, the best chances you have is to swatch it. But in saying that, I don't swatch blankets. I generally don't swatch socks. Lots of things I don't swatch. Yeah, nobody wants a sweater that can stand up by itself. That is the truth. That is the truth. We want soft, squishy cuddles of yarn. Hey, Dolores, do you know what? I too had plenty of other projects I should have been doing instead of this. But I just needed, it was bugging me. And sometimes I just need to just spend a couple of hours getting rid of the bugbear, you know? So that's what I did. And now I know on August 20, when I start this project, I know which needles I need, which hooks I need, and, you know, I already know which colors I'm going with. Oops, where's the little end? I want to make sure that's poking out so I can find it later on. But yeah, you know, we've got all these little things. You know, we've all got like 11 billion projects on the go. There's no project shaming here. John says 32 months of membership. Wow, John. That's fantastic. Let me just jump back over here because it'll be all green over here. Wow. I mean, I think it is in a row. I'm not 100% certain. It could be in total. Like, so if your membership lapsed and you come back, it just continues to add on. I don't know. Well, see, that's why I'm doing it August 20, Leanne. It's my birthday as well. So I get to cast on a new project in squishy yarn on my birthday. So I'm happy about that. Alrighty, where's that bag? Here it is. Let's drop these into the bag. Those ones, I've still got the yarn tags. That is good. The swatches can go in. Oh, I need a photo of that swatch so I can put it over. Now I've got downside of this project will be all these ends. Just saying. Photo. Oh, I can do the photo later. Do we have any way to know which ball band belongs to which yarn? Let me look. When I added my project to Ravelry, did I put the color numbers or just... I put the colour numbers, not just the colour name. Thank you, past Chantelle. You are awesome. 8809 is the Alpine Grey. Thank you, past Chantelle, for being amazing. Samantha Stewart, good to see you in the chat. It's been a bit. Oh, you misquoted Clerks. Sorry. Do you know what? I haven't seen Clerks. I know. It's a shameful thing to admit, but it's true. 8812 is Clear Skies. That's Coastal Bluffs. This must be Clear Skies. That's the other catch. Do I even know? It would be better if you were able to wear your new sweater for your birthday. Yeah. I mean, it would be, but because we've got retreat and I'm got some new work stuff I've got to make sure I've got time for. 8803. Pine. Yeah, so you know, I didn't watch Mallrats either. I'm ashamed to say. When I was in the former Yugoslavia with the army, we had 4 movies to watch. It was the Die Hard trilogy and Clerks. Oh my gosh. I mean, the Die Hard trilogy is pretty good. So, I'll just double check that I've got the right one here. 8816. Coastal Bluff. There we go. Good. I've done the right things. Everything's in the right places. That project can be tucked away. I'm just going to just throw that hook in that bag because, you know, we've cleaned it all up. It's ready to rock and rumble. Table is clean. What should we work on next? I'm going to have a sip of my tea. I watched Clerks twice a day for 6 months. Really? Gosh, that's was that like mental torture or something? I mean, I don't think there's any movie, no matter how much I like, I don't think there's any movie I could watch twice a day for 6 months. And it's coming from a person who rewatches movies. Like, I rewatch movies. What have we got? Projects did I bring in? I brought in my socks, but I've moved them over to, took them off the collage DPNs. I just like I kept not working on them, and I couldn't work out if it was the socks, if it was the yarn, or if it was the needles. I think it's the yarn, because even on these new needles, which I'm liking very much, these are the Knit Pro Mindful. They're the Mindful, so they've got all like little words and stuff like this. It's the Breathe size. So what is this? 3.5 mil, 3.5 mil. And they're on the teal swivel cables. Now, look, between us, I may have bought this set just because of all the teal stuff. Sarah Spicer, you are so right. Look, I'm just going to quickly just edit this project. Just because otherwise I will forget, and you are right. Thank you. A 5 round square with the 3.75 millimeter hook. Sorry, guys. All right, done. Save the changes. Okay, I have notes. Let me have a look here. Thank you for the prompt there, Sarah, because you're 100% right. He'd probably say he lived it every day. Maybe. I don't know. You love your mindful set? Yeah, look, this is the first project where, because I've only just recently gotten it, and I'm really enjoying, I like these swivel cables, because one of the things I'll say, like ChowGoo fan, hand up, hand to heart, still prefer ChowGoo. I still prefer the tips. There's lots I still prefer about them. But the ChowGoo wire-coated cables with a swivel, they're Swiv 360 cables, I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's got like it's quite a harsh jump, and sliding the stitches was quite annoying, and this was a concern I had with these, but after using them, it's nowhere near as noticeable. I do feel it, but they still slide. Whereas on the ChowGoos, I actually felt like I had to push the stitches over. So I think this was just a little bit of slightly a better solution. I'm still coming to grips with the fact that my needle swivels every time I feel it move. I think it's come undone. I'm like, oh my God, I typed that with a key. Why is it? Oh, it's not undone. So there's some mental stuff going on here. So these socks are up to a trickier part, which is why I haven't done them yet. But I've done the heel turn. I've done the inch past. There's a point in the pattern where it's like do an inch past here. So I've done that. Now these socks, the pattern calls for like a way smaller needle, right? But I've had to jump it up because they're quite dense already. But they are made out of a cotton lycra blend. So it's me, Sam. I actually have a review here on the channel. There's a video that I've made about the Swiv 360s. Go and check it out for yourself. And then I've done some really big close-ups. So you can definitely go and check out the review. I wasn't a fan. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I'm in the hate them camp. And I am such a ChowGoo fan. I love my ChowGoos. I just don't like the Swiv 360 cable. That's all. But yeah, so these are super stretchy. The yarn that I'm currently working in is the Cascade Yarns Fixation Splash, and it is 98% cotton, 98.3, and then 1.7% spandex, which is why we've got some stretch. Also, the stitches that will be helping with that stretch as well. So, yeah. But so I'm still working on those, and I still have... I didn't bring my purple sweater in to work on today. John's popped a photo in the fun zone. Oh, of your blanket. I'm making a shopping bag. Sorry. Let me just have a look here. I'm making a shopping bag. It's just DC's chains. I figured I'd switch to a net style, which is the 5-chain single crochet. But I thought better of it. Now I have a shopping bag with a 3-row net frill. You can't pull it back. I'll check the photo after the stream, but I would definitely be considering. I've just looked at the time. I spent so much time on that square. Thank you for persevering through that. I very much appreciate it. It was just something I needed to do. So yeah. So the purple sweater is just out on the couch. There's no reason. It's not in a naughty corner or anything like that. I just didn't want to work on it today. That's all. That's it. Nothing dramatic. So this one here, I'm up to a tricky spot. So I'm thinking I may just leave it. But I did want to talk about these swivel cables, which I'm actually enjoying. Like, so I've done like an inch of this sock on it. I was using, are they in here? No, I took them out. I was using the Collage square DPNs, which I really do like them. I think they're great. And they don't fall out. Like my biggest struggle with DPNs is because I like stainless steel. I don't like working with like the bamboo or the wooden DPNs. I like metal DPNs. Unfortunately, I mean sometimes they can just fall out of your work, which is frustrating. And so the thing I love about the square ones. Are you kidding me, Gamer Widows? This time next week, she'll be setting up her stall for Bendigo If you are in Melbourne or if you are in Victoria, you need to get to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. Seriously, if you've never been, make the effort. Have a day trip, jump on the train, whatever you need to do. Go and check it out. It seems like ridiculous to go for it. If you can find accommodation, stay overnight. The chances are you can't find accommodation. Go to the Sheep and Wool Show. It is the most fantastic event. Take some budget for some hand-dyed yarn. There's amazing creators. And Game Widows makes these bags that I'm obsessed with now. I was always a bit like, well, I've got a million totes. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need the extra bags for? But I love these bags. And I love that I can get like matching coordinating things. Like, so I've got my cupcake fabric and I've got my cupcake. I love it. And she always chooses the best fabrics, and there's pockets and there's just space. Like, there's space. And I will be buying a bigger one. So Game Widows, when you get back from Bendigo, if you've got no large bags left, you better get sewing. I need choices, baby. Choices. But yeah, I very much love my project bags that I get from Game Widows. And the humbugs. The humbugs are just like, please don't be offended, Emma, but the humbugs are my absolute favorite. Okay, like I love the bags, don't get me wrong, but the humbugs are my absolute favorite, which is why I think I have 8 of them now. Well, I wasn't talking to you, Siri. Do I ever talk to you? No, because I prefer the G machine over that. The other one that you need to say their name, and it's sitting right there. So if I say it, they'll hear it. You need a more manly bag. I mean, that's on you. Like, don't even joke, Sally. Don't even joke. There's ads on television that do it, and the one in my lounge room goes off and loses its mind. I don't understand. Yes, because I wasn't talking to you. The Game Widow link, thank you, Leanne, for dropping that in. That's the Game Widow's Etsy store. I'm not sure how much will be on there because she's getting ready for Bendigo. So, but definitely check it out and bookmark it for when she gets back. Oh, the Etsy store's in holiday mode. There you go. Jai Good is in the chat. Jai, we've just been doing lots of chatting today about lots of different things. But Bendigo is next weekend, and I wish I was going, but I'm not. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to put that one over there. We're going to work on this. Oh, look, another Game Widows humbug. And it's got that. It's got some more stitch markers. What else have I got in there? There's my hook. Did I just dump the hook in that? I've dumped the hook in the bag. That's what I've done. Oh, I was looking for that the other day. I was like, I know that I need that for someone. All right, so there's my hook. And remember when I went to work on this last time and I was all like, oh, I can't remember how to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Brain function fail. Well, it took me about 4 seconds of sitting on the couch to go, oh, right, that's how I do it. So, and then I added a pile of squares, like boom, done. Okay. Where am I up to? I'm up to here. I'm actually working in the middle of a square right now. Do I need a bit of extra light? I think I do. Hello, little light. There we go. My robot girlfriend is sitting on the shelf behind me laughing at your Siri and Google. Well, Alexa. Add coffee to the shopping list. Alrighty. Let me just get started. Work out where I'm up to. All right, and flip. Oh, there you go, Leanne. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Jai, I'm not going. Oh, that's not her wake word. I've got a friend who has theirs set as the computer, like computer. So it's very Star Trek. It's so cool. I like that. Do I need to know that one, John? That you've got a pet name for her in the bedroom? Really? Now, Leanne made this harder for me because I didn't like. So on the front, you can really see it with the white squares. So see how there's this little feet? Just little feet? I didn't like how big the big feet were with the double stitches, how they sort of just never sat right. So Leanne showed me a way to make it so they're always on the back. So I've got a definite front and back of this blanket. My stupid Google Maps randomly started telling me a story the other day. No, I don't want a story. I want you to tell me how to get to where I'm going. Yeah, sometimes they just need to understand that, look, I really need you to do this thing that I actually turned you on for. Because, you know, I kind of need your help. I don't like it when it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do a random update. Like, I know we're in the middle of this right now, but I just feel like I need to do a total shutdown. Sorry if that's inconvenient for you. We were talking with Abby about how she's got to be really careful because she uses her phone maps. She doesn't have like she's got an old car, so she relies on the actual device for her maps. And we're like, you cannot touch the screen even if in map mode. You will get a fine for touching your phone, and you're on your P's, so you'll get toasted. You'll be done. So Holly Alderson, good to see you jumping in, saying hi. Creations had her map in hillbilly mode. Take a left down yonder in the old barn. That was one of old Smitty's barn, and he made the best shine. Oh, mine I was really glad to move over to away from the actual GPS because my GPS kept trying to send me into a river. Like, it did not like me. Like, Tommy Tom Tom did not like me, and every time I went past this particular river, it would be like, now turn left into the river and die. Drown in your vehicle. Remember to stay calm and take your headrest off and use that to smash your window open. Don't try and open the door. Don't wind down the window. Just smash it open. Yeah. Oh, you nearly forgot to give me a thumbs up, Jai. Oh, well, I'm glad it was nearly forgot and not you totally forgot and left and walked away and just went, nah, I'm not going back to thumbs that up. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. John, my old Tom had an Aussie mode. Windows up, grab your sunnies and don't let the seagulls do it. Yeah, we had him every now and again. That was fun. He was a bit of fun. I did get a Dalek voice at one stage. And it was just like, you will turn left or you will be terminated. That was terrifying. I had to turn that off. It stressed me out. Yeah, I was told to turn onto a boat ramp. No, car doesn't swim. Yeah, I think the GPSs forget that the car boats don't actually exist in real life. Like, you know, for general people. Like, I mean, I know they do exist and touring companies, and it was just, you know, it was a bit bizarre. It's always a bit bizarre. Oh, that's awesome. The Uber of groceries has arrived. Gotta love that. Has anyone tried the new Woolworths milk run? I keep being served ads for it, but I haven't tried it. John says, I turn the voices off. I prefer the music. Look, it depends on what I'm doing, in all honesty. Sometimes I like to, sometimes I just like to have a reminder of like a major thing. Because so I've got just, I just use Android AirPlay. Do I do 2 or 3? I can't remember. Well, I did 3 there, so I'll do 3 here. Oh, Alison Keys has been using it. Love Milk Run. Okay, cool. The first time I saw it, I thought, is this dodgy? Is this like a legit thing? And then I hit their website just to go and check it, and I was like, no, it's definitely legit. but I just haven't used it. And like, because I'm stuck without a car more often than not now, sometimes I just need like one or two things from the shops, and it's not worth doing like an online grocery order or anything like that. And you're just like, man, I just want a couple of things. I just have to send the husband to go and get him when on his way home from work, which annoys him, which cracks me up actually. Between you and me, shh, don't tell him. He doesn't watch the live stream, so we're totally fine here. But yeah, I just add stuff to the shopping list all the time now. For $5 delivery, I can sit down, order groceries, and get it delivered within an hour. See, that's the thing. It's the within the hour that I just love. Because, like, sure, you can do your full grocery shop. You can do the full proper legit thing. But, you know, your delivery windows are quite large, right? So being able, and like, I still wouldn't order fruit and veggie if I could avoid it and things like that. But sometimes I just need milk. And you know, a couple, like if I was going to spend $5 for delivery, I'd probably grab milk and something else, right? And just, you know, it would still be a small run. I wouldn't use it for a big run. But yeah, it's one of those things. Alison says it does help that we're close to the supermarket that they use. I'm not sure which I mean, I'm pretty damn close to the supermarkets here, but I don't know if they would use any of the ones I'm close to, you know. So I don't know. I need to look into it some more. I sort of saw it and was like, is this legit? Checked that it was legit. Went, oh, okay. But no one I knew was using it. So it's good to know that you're enjoying it. Man, I'm getting to the end of this ball and it's just a bit janky, you know. Jai says we don't have it here in Canberra, but my daughter has it in Echuca, a small one on the Murray River. Okay. We're lucky we have a small supermarket across the road. Good for bread and milk. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I've got like a 20-minute walk to my nearest, and my knees don't like a 20-minute walk. I'd have to be totally desperate. Like that's a 20-minute walk each way. So it's 40 minutes walk. I'd have to literally be dying because I would end up in so much pain after that I would need to be taking like codeine, which I don't like. I don't take it. My doctors are all like, oh, you should be easing your pain more. I'm like, nah, Panadol, dude, that's it. Anything more than that and it's surgery time, baby. With your levels of pain, you should be allowing yourself. I'm like, don't care, don't like drugs you can be addicted to. So, yeah. Or self-dosing drugs you can, you know, if I'm in the hospital after a surgery, whatever, they can do whatever they want. I don't care. But when I'm at home and I'm in charge, it's a different story. John says, I went to the corner store and overpaid for a gallon of milk, bought a couple of scratchy tickets and hit one for $500. I mean, that's awesome. Like, that's awesome. We don't use it all the time as my husband still likes to go to the shops. When we first started using it, the first 3 orders didn't have the delivery fee. Nice. Yeah, Game Widows. Like last week I found out that the pain I've been tolerating is my hip needing replacing. Yeah. Yep. My knee needs replacing. We're going to start. It's the process is going to start. I've been putting it off because I get one knee replacement. I knew about what year are we at? I knew about 6 years ago that my knee needs replacing. It's already had 2 lots of surgeries and they're like, that's it. It needs replacing. And so, but they were like, hold off for as long as you can. I think holding off for 6 years is pretty good. Yeah, Bob, I'm the same. And I, depending on the levels, they make me hallucinate as well. Actually, just one. What was that Panadine Fort, which is like a Panadol and codeine mix? I hallucinate on that, so I just avoid it where I can. So yeah, it's when you've got half a kneecap and no ligaments and tendons and no, um, it's not like, oh, it's uncomfortable. It is, there are things missing. So yeah, you get to a point where it's just like, okay, I've been managing pain for 6 years, and I think I've been doing very well with it. I will say. I had my first colonoscopy and they gave me fentanyl. Man, that was a great sleep. Yep, yep. There are things that just knock me right out. Like, we used to be able to buy this thing over the counter called Masindol Day Strength. And it's like a pain relief and muscle relaxant that you can work through, except I would take one of those and sleep for 8 hours. I've got a really low tolerance to pain medication and it just knocks me out, which is why I like Panadol, because I can still function as a human and get things done. And like, yeah, it doesn't get rid of all the pain, but it can take the edge off it, which is enough. Man, I am like, this is just a dumpster fire. Like, we're nearly at the end, but I've got to get there first. Oh dear. Far out. There we go. I look at it this way: to get ready, then to go to the store would take me longer and cost more than $5. Plus, I'm not influenced with impulse purchases. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible for that. I can't, you know how like we all joke, don't go to the shops when you're hungry. I cannot go to the shops when I'm hungry. I make bad buying decisions. Look, I eat pretty healthily most of the time, like 90% of the time. I eat very healthily, a lot of fresh fruit and veggies, lean meat, all the good stuff, like not tons of oil, don't overdo sugar. Like, I don't add sugar to it. Like, I'm a good eater, like even according to my dietitian, other than I just don't eat enough. But what I do eat is good. But when I go to the store hungry, I come home with chips and biscuits and ice cream and just things that are just ready to consume. They're not ingredients. It's just junk. And I eat some of it while I'm unpacking the groceries, and then I need a little nap afterwards because I have a sugar coma or something. But it's just. Bub says Panadol makes pain bearable. Yeah, that's how I treat it as well. And I still only have a couple. I don't go crazy because don't I would like my kidneys to continue functioning. Thanks very much. I just try to do the best I can, really, is what it boils down to. Like, my body is broken. It's busted and it needs surgeries and it needs these other things, but we're trying to hold off so I've got more options. Because knee replacements only last 10 to 15 years and I will be getting one at this stage. Because my bones that the knee replacement goes into are not in good condition. They're fully arthritic already. And so that changes how the bone acts and responds to the actual actions and what they do to replace your knee. And they're saying that in the current technologies, in the current condition of my thigh bone, it's got a proper name. I don't know what it is. The big one that they drill in and put the metal bits into, whatever that is. The current condition and the current technologies that they're using for knee surgeries, I have one. They won't be able to do it again. And then they'll have to fuse my leg or whatever it is that they do when the knee replacement has to be removed and it no longer, and it fails. So anyway, walking hurts. Standing for too long hurts. Stairs are just, I can go upstairs, no problems. I can't get back down them again. It's kind of funny. When you go with someone somewhere and you follow them up the stairs and then they're like, it's time to go, and they go back down the stairs and I'm looking around for an elevator or something because going downstairs is excruciating. Yeah, it's hilarious. Oh, you had to look up Panadol. We call it Tylenol here. So is that the paracetamol? Because I may need to know that. Because I can't have aspirin or Nurofen. I can only have paracetamol. Yeah, so they're still I thought they were still testing that out, Joe, but that's only if you need cartilage or meniscus, right? Because, oh, wow, that is a big surgery. I'm hoping it's doing great. Yeah, there's a point where fixing some of the soft tissues doesn't solve the problem. Um, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. There's lots of things about like tablets and branding and not branding, tablet branding, like the companies where all the different things are different named. And yeah, that's the same reason. Oh, ask me how I know. Yeah. I made the mistake of having Nurofen when I was a teenager. Um, so yeah, and ended up in hospital. I said it's the same as Paracetamol. I'll have to look them up. Well, maybe if I go to the US, I just need to bring a big box with me just so that I'm using what I know. Are you allowed to do that? Just out of curiosity, like, can I take 100 box of Panadol with me to another country? I don't know. I'd like to know if I can, so I can, have pain relief ready if needed. Um, my loving husband took a photo of me while I was under the. Okay, thank you. That is good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Um, but yeah, and aspirin is just as bad. I can't do aspirin. But I've known that for a long time, so I knew not to have aspirin. But I didn't realize that my issue also included Nurofen. And so yeah, that was really bad. Because I think I took naproxenic, which is a Nurofen based medication for girls to have, at a particular time of month to help with that pain. And all my friends were using it and was swearing by it. And because I have a lot of pain involved in that, I thought, oh, I'll try that. And then ended up in hospital. Whoops. Whoops. Don't do that again. Yeah. The one that there's the biggest eyebrow raise is usually for people like who are allergic to penicillin, who have like white and blue mold cheeses. And I'll be like, you can have those? I can't have those. And then I was out a couple of weeks ago with some friends, and I was just like, oh yeah, because they had like a cheese platter, and I was so happy that their cheese platter didn't involve any, what we lovingly call death cheese. Um, and we were just explaining that, because I was so happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing! I can have any of the cheeses on here, and I can share the knife, and all the things that I can't normally do. Anyway, and anyway, it turns out that the husband there is allergic to penicillin, but didn't know why he got sick when he had brie and camembert. Um, and so because he knew to stick away, like to keep away from the blue vein. So he knew to keep away from all the blue mold cheese, but didn't realize that he also needed to keep away from the white mold cheese too. Like it's got a lower amount of penicillin. And so, some people have got like a higher tolerance for penicillin than others, like even with the allergies, because you guys know the drill. Not everyone's allergy is exactly the same. But yeah, and he was just like, wait, what? And the wife's just gone, oh my gosh, could that be why you always get sick when we have like brie and camembert and stuff? And he's like, but I really like those. And I'm like, yeah, me too. It's really frustrating when you know you like something, except you can't have it because it, makes you really sick. He was just like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I spoke to my doctor about it. And they're like, yeah, it's got penicillin in it. So it's got a smaller amount. But white mold and blue mold cheeses are off the table here. So our cheese boards are really boring. Well, actually, they're not boring. I tend to, bulk them out with other stuff. So it's not just cheddar or anything, but you know, I go for like a smoky cheese and the tasty cheeses and like halloumi and um Havarti and like there's a pile of cheeses, right? That I can have. And then I'll chop up pear and I'll put quince paste and I try to make it gooder. Um oh, your Molly's allergic to penicillin? Oh no. See you later. Have an awesome. I've just looked at the time. Thanks. Um, gosh. Oh yeah, they really are. The alternatives are rubbish. They're nowhere near as good, and they don't like to give them to you because there's hardly any alternatives. And so they want to say, like for me, it's just like, oh look, we can give you this, but you know, the more that you use it, the less likely it'll work down the track. And you're just like, yeah, okay, cool. I don't come in and just get, you know, this sort of medication just for fun. Like, will it solve the problem? Because, like, do I have a virus or is it not a virus? Because if it's a virus, there's no point having it. And they're like, oh my gosh, so many people just want it anyway. And you're just like, yeah, no, I get how it works. Are you all right, big boy? Sorry. You guys are going to keep me company while I detangle the end of this yarn, hey? Well, at least some of you are, right? I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. Louis doing a sniffling thing. All right, where's that go? That goes under. That goes over. And then goes through. All right. I think we can just crochet to the end of that yarn now and get it done. I was really hoping there'd be enough to get us to the end of this square, but I'm just not hopeful. Oh, and with the milk run up, you can select for them to substitute an item or not. Oh my gosh, because that's one of the biggest things. I've got a friend who she ordered like milk formula or nappies or something. It was something for the baby, right? And they substituted it with a bag of oranges. Like, I'm sorry, what now? Like, does your system even allow that? Like, why? How is that going to solve anything? Oh, hang on. I only did 2 in there. I need to go back and fix that because I can. I need 3. See you later. Be good. But yeah, it was just like a bag of oranges to replace something. Not it was either nappies or formula that it was replacing. I think it might have been nappies because she really desperately needed nappies and ended up having to get a cab and go out with a sick baby. Yeah, oranges, nappies, same thing. Yeah, right. Leanne says, I reckon we've dropped 3 degrees. Yeah, I think it's definitely getting colder in here. I mean, I don't want to complain too loudly. Abby's been sending me screenshots of her where she's staying, and I'm like sitting here with like socks and long pants and long sleeve shirts and jumpers and blankets and complaining about the cold. And then Abby's like, oh yeah, it's -10 here today. And I'm just like, okay, it's like 12. Oh, they substituted expensive cheddar with square, like plastic cheese. Ah, that's not awesome. That is not awesome. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've never really used like the home shopping thing is I'm such a control freak when it comes to my food, and I don't want to pay for like dodgy fruit and veggie that some teenager didn't know was bad, you know? Like, because that's the thing. This is kids they've got running around loading these carts. Like, unless you've been teaching your kids how to do this, then it's a pretty good chance that someone else has not been teaching their kids. And um oh my gosh, John, it's so stinking hot. How are you coping? Are you all right? Are you in AC? Oh yeah, we've been definitely having a proper winter this year. We will be talking about it for years. John says it's 22 where he is. Ah. Yeah, I would choose the don't substitute at any possible turn. Like, dude, I'd rather not get it than get whatever imaginary thing you decide. Jennifer says it's 5.1 where she is. I don't know what it is here. Let me have a quick look. Because I have had the heater on in this room, so everything's like out of whack. Right now, where my daughter is, where she's living, it's currently 2 degrees. Now let's change this to me. And it's currently 20. It's 20 degrees here. And I'm being a whingy baby. 20C. So, you know. Have some perspective, Chantelle. Oh man, I'm not gonna make it. Like to this little tiny bit of the corner, and there's just not enough yarn for it. Oh, I'm so frustrated. $6.1 feels like 4.9. Oh my gosh. I've got slippers on under my little table here. This is so infuriating. Like, all I need is to join there and do that little square and it's finished. But I'm out of yarn. I lost. I lost at Yarn Chicken. This is a sad way to end the stream. But that's where we're going to end it. We're going to end it with me having to dig around and find another ball of blue. I do have another ball of blue. Please tell me I do. Oh, I do. There we go. There we go. Boom. I'll be joining that on shortly. For one square. Anyway, that makes me sad. Yes. Sad trombone. I actually have a sad trombone noise. Hang on a second. There you go. Could you guys hear the sad trombone noise? That's how I feel about losing at Yarn Chicken. Leanne says, here is a story. My heathen husband drinks International Roast. Our click and collect replaced it with Nescafe and he returned it. We lovingly call it international floor scrapings. It's where they run under the conveyor belts of other coffee companies and scrape it off the floor and grind it into a fine powder. That's international roast. I don't know if that's available in other countries or if it's just an Australian thing. If it's an Australian thing, can we please stop doing it? It's awful. All right, lords and ladies, I'm going to go off and cry in a corner because of that Yarn Chicken. Thanks so much for hanging out a bit longer today while I got to the end of that. That was awesome. Leanne says she's embarrassed by him. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Have an awesome day. I'm going to go and have some lunch and then I'm going to get on and do some other things. Oh, don't, John. If it's international roast, just don't buy it. Just trust me. Just trust me when I say don't buy it. It was awesome seeing you all here. Have an excellent day and I will catch you next time. Bye now.